Hello. So, just got back from Godzilla King of the Monsters again because my netbook's being dumb. Give me a second to be with y'all because I got a lot to say about this movie and all of it positive, but this was pretty much what I wanted. Okay. Let's see. There. But yeah, this movie was everything I wanted. It was the hype. If you want my review of this movie, Haruro Nakajima would be proud. Tomoyuki Tanaka, Ashiro Honda, Eiji Tsuburaya, Akira Ikefube would be proud. This film did it justice. It did right by the fans. It was everything as a fan I wanted. And it had surprises in it. I'm not getting into spoilers, but it was just incredible. I'm going to say one thing right now. Bear McCreary, bare minimal, get nominated for Best Original Soundtrack because he did an outstanding job. And whoever the cinematographer was for this film, again, give that man the Oscar because this film is beautiful to look at. I've heard people complain the characters were boring. Honestly, I didn't have that problem. They were well acted, and what was done well enough. It didn't bother me that they weren't so flushed out as you would claim. There's still depth there if you look at it. I don't think there was a bad performance in the group. The villain character was pretty good. Kyle Chandler did phenomenal in the film, and from what I hear, he's going to be in Kong vs. Godzilla. I look forward to seeing him back. So few people can say they've been in two movies with both King Kong and Godzilla, but he can. Because if you remember, he was in the Kong remake. Millie Bobby Brown was great via Formiga, but the monsters, this movie doesn't take long to get to the monsters. Within a matter of minutes, we're seeing our first monster, and it was just done. It was shot incredibly. The scene was beautiful to look at with a decent amount of tension, and the plot moves along at a great pace. I don't know what more you could ask for, because like when I look at the complaints, I'm just like, I don't get what you people want. For Godzilla 2013, we heard a lot of, oh, great movie, but not enough Godzilla. And this time, too much humans, not enough Godzilla. This time, there's too much monster and the human aspect isn't compelling enough. And I found it very compelling. Just the emotion, there were great emotional moments in that. Like, without going into spoilers, there's a line told to one of the characters that says, sometimes in order to heal, you have to make peace with that which wounded you. And there was a great emotional depth in that conversation. In this movie, it had scenes that were downright terrifying at times. Ghidorah, when you first see him, he's even eating soldiers. The way he breaks out of the ice, the way that scene's shot, you can see Michael Dougherty's horror background in this. The scene where Rodan breaks out is, again, it's a terrifying scene the way it's done. And these scenes, they get punctuated whenever Bear McCreary's music came in, especially, wow, when you hear the Godzilla March or the Mothra theme, which is just so beautiful. But like the Godzilla March, when it came to the scene in Boston and you hear the first notes, I had tears in my eyes. That was just, wow, I never thought I would be sitting in a Godzilla movie, American made, hearing Akira Ikafube's music. This whole film was just a gigantic love letter to the Godzilla fans. And it was just absolutely, for me, amazing from start to finish. It was everything I wanted. This movie, it obviously lived up to the hype for me. This movie is the hype. And just, it really just blew me away at times. And then just the monsters you see. I like the designs for some of the other Titans you see in the film. I'm not going to describe them because I want you to be surprised, and they do get to mostly off-camera wreak sufficient havoc, which I'm fine with because the main focus should be the four main Toho monsters, which it was. And Kong Skull Island fans, this film does some cool things with the Hollow Earth thing. Again, I'm not going to tell you what, but, well, for those of you that were following the Monarch Sciences website, there were times when Godzilla would just disappear. You're going to get an answer as to why Godzilla was disappearing on the Monarch Sciences website. Ken Watanabe, phenomenal job. And for those of you that have seen the credits, we can all tell this Serizawa shares a very similar fate to the original Serizawa. Without going into details, I think it's a great inversion that Ishiro Serizawa sacrifices himself to save Godzilla so Godzilla can save the planet, where Daisuke Serizawa sacrifices himself to destroy Godzilla to protect Japan, to protect the planet. It's a great inversion. In both Serizawa's sacrifices are equally emotionally compelling. And I can't think of an actor that could have handled that better than Ken Watanabe. And his stuff was great. And, of course, he gets his one-liners one-upped in this with Kyle Chandler. I love that when they're talking about getting the monsters to fight and someone brings up, oh yeah, Dr. Serizawa's let them fight. I love that line. And he goes, no, this time we join the fight. And oh, they do, and it's gorgeous. That scene you've seen in the trailers with Godzilla roaring, with the fighter jets at his back flying towards what we know as Ghidorah. It looked epic on the small screen, and it looks so epic in the finished product in the movie. That scene was just, oh God, kaiju candy. And when you get to the fights, there's multiple fights all done really well. Mothra has a surprising new ability that I liked. And the relationship between what Godzilla and Mothra are in this, it's, again, very interesting, very intriguing, something new. They even found a nice, cool tip of the hat to the Mothra twins, which I will not spoil. No, it does not get into the supernatural, mystic aspect of Mothra, but if you're a Godzilla fan, again, it's just a love letter. It's a kiss on the lips. Like, yeah, we know this is what you guys want to see, and we're at least going to give you the tip of the hat and respect what came before. Michael Dougherty, thank you so much. I felt like a kid throughout this whole movie, and for those of you that know me, you know this has been a very rough, emotional month, and this movie was just what I needed to pick me up. It was a great end to such a horrible month. And sit through the credits, you get text that alludes to the Kong movie, Kong versus Godzilla, and you get great music. The Bear McCreary remix of Blue Oyster Cult's Godzilla is phenomenal. And I don't even like the singer that sings it, but his voice worked for this song, as well as you get the reworked Akira Ikafube pieces. And listen, if you're a diehard fan, you're going to want to sit through the credits because Akira Ikafube, I mean, not Akira Ikafube, you see at the end of the credits, in loving memory of Yoshimitsu Banno, who was the director of Godzilla versus Hedorah, and also in loving memory of Haruro Nakajima, with a picture of him in the water tank. As we know, the behind-the-scenes photos of him just either in the process of getting in or out of the suit with a great big smile on his face. And again, that brought tears to my eye. Plus the great end credits scene that I don't dare spoil. I give this movie an A+. I'm going to see it again in 3D, and sometime this weekend I will put out my spoiler review. I just wanted to get out my initial thoughts on the film live. So like, share, comment, subscribe, especially if you're watching it, and if you're watching it archived. Over and out.